Ladies and gents, and welcome to our online press conference. It is, let's say, two conferences rolled in one. It is the team announcement for the SAA team versus the Vodacom Bulls this coming Saturday, tomorrow in the Cape Town Stadium. And we also have Alton Jantjies, who will then be in action tomorrow. So, Jacques, good afternoon. If you can start with the team for tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah. Okay, so the SAA team playing against the Bulls, I'm going to start from number 1 to 15, and then obviously the bench after that. So number 1 will be Kuni. Number 2 will be Joseph Dweba. Number 3, Vincent. Number 4, Jean-Luc de Preer. Number 5, Nicolas Jansen van Rensburg. Number 6, Marco. Number 7, Reinhard Alstedt. Number 8, Kwaga. Number 9, Kobus Reinach. Number 10, Elton. And he's also the captain. Sorry, I think I missed it. Vincent Koch will be the vice captain. Number 11, Roscoe. Number 12, Damien Dalende. Number 13, Wandisile Simelani. Number 14, Yao Penkwe. Number 15, Apilele Fassi. Then on the bench, 16, Fez Mabata. 17, Thomas de Toy. 18, Wilco. Low, 19, Jasper Wiese. 20, Sanele Noamba. 21, Sabu. 22, Jesse. 21, and 24, Lisa Geboka.
Thank you very much, Jacques, for reading out the team then. And to confirm then, the captain is Alton Jantjies, and the vice captain duties will be handled by Vincent Koch. Right, let's kick off our press conference this afternoon. And the first question goes to Ashfaq Mohammed. Good afternoon, Ashfaq.
Hi, Ryan, and hi, Jacques and Elton.
Hi, Ashfaq.
Jacques, I see in that team, if I just remember now, you're calling it out, Damien Dalende is the only guy that played in the starting lineup on Wednesday that's playing tomorrow as well. Just your thinking behind that?
Yeah, obviously I don't think starting Joseph Dweba also started. So I think and Marco van Staden also started. So I think there's 3 guys. Obviously with Damien, or specifically your question, Ashfaq, was around about Damien, and the main purpose for us is to just get more game time under his belt. You know, he hasn't played for some while, and although it was a outing for him in terms of getting onto the pitch, and I had a quick chat with him before captains today, and he said yes, he enjoyed it. So it's just getting a little bit of more game time on him. Like we said, the purpose of these games are for players to stake their claim obviously to make the test team, and then secondly for us to get a good game intensity under the belt. We have been documented that we've had limited game time leading up to the series. So that's the reason why.
Thank you, Coach Jacques. And we say good afternoon to Nathan.
Hi, Ray, Jacques and Elton. Jacques, I just want to ask, do you think this is another opportunity for you guys to possibly see more guys' performances especially for the first test against the Lions next week?
Yes, yeah, Nathan. Yeah, that's the purpose of these games. You know, we wanted 3 games, and lucky enough, we got our 3rd game now. In the sense of playing against the Bulls. And like I said, the main purpose of the games was for players to stake their claim off. You know, we selected a big squad originally, I think 45, and then there was a couple of injuries. I think we are 43 at the moment, or 42. I'm not 100% sure. But the reason is to get everybody a fair chance to stake their claim off for the test against the British and Irish Lions, the first test.
Thank you, Jacques. And we welcome Ken Boland.
Thank you, Ryan. Good afternoon, Jacques and Elton. If I heard you correctly, Jacques, you named Wilco Low on the bench, who was not part of the original squad. Can you just let us know when he's arrived, what's going on there, and is everyone who is fit to play in your squad at the moment? Will they all now have had some game time after Saturday?
No, okay. Firstly, yes, Wilco low. The reason for that is basically because of the COVID infections we have. So we currently have still players who's not available for selection because of the COVID protocols. So just to give you a little bit of feedback on that, or a little bit of a backdrop on that. When a player tests positive for COVID, obviously you go into isolation for 10 days. But then what people think, yeah, they're eligible to play again after 10 days, which is not the case. There's then a return to play protocol that they have to follow before they can get selected. So basically, if a player tests positive for COVID, it will take him 17 days to get back. 16, 17 days to get back into the mix. There's a protocol that we have to follow. So with our players that tested positive for COVID and close contacts and stuff like that, we unfortunately only had 4 props available. And if one of them would have gotten injured, then we wouldn't be able to field a full front row and a bench, and then you will have to forfeit the match. So that's the reason why will go in. And will everybody have had an opportunity to play? No, I think there will be. I'm just thinking of a guy like Dan, who's currently still with COVID. So he probably is one of the few that I can remember who wouldn't have had an opportunity in the 3 games that we had available. It's purely just bad luck. He just contracted the virus, and he's returned to play. I'm not 100% sure where every single one of them are. The doctors are handling that in the medical team, but he won't obviously be available this tomorrow. So he wouldn't have been available, or he wouldn't have had an opportunity in the 3 games that we had.
Thank you, Jacques, for that explanation. And our next question then comes from Daniel Schofield. Hi, Daniel. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jacques. Can I ask what you made of Warren Gatland's comments recently that Faf should have had a red card for that incident before half-time? We've seen Razzie tweet something maybe highlighting some of the Lions' own high tackling.
I didn't see the tweets, and I didn't see the comments of Warren. But yeah, listen, I think that's why we've got world-class referees handling it. And I mean, there's so many people that look at the game, and there's committees. I don't even know how many of them. So I'm sure that it's been well looked after, and I trust the system on both sides. On Faf's side, I believe that they had all the evidence that they wanted to have, and they had a good look at it, and I trust their decisions that they made. That's why they are the referees are the CEO of the game. They know that safety is a big driver from World Rugby and for rugby, and so I just trust their judgment.
Thank you, Jacques. And we move over to Leighton Koopman. Good afternoon, Leighton.
Hello, Almal. Jacques, just for you, please, and welcome back to the team as well. Everything's been done virtually from your side, but after Wednesday's game, what was the flush out sessions you've had, and also the hands-on training? Have you had any with the squad that you are preparing for tomorrow's game? Can you just talk a bit more about how things worked on that side?
Yes, they obviously played on Wednesday. We had an off day yesterday. The players, we were off in Joburg, isolation, and then we the team had a captain's run this afternoon at Cape Town Stadium, and ready to play for tomorrow. So basically, a Thursday day off, Friday captains, and then we play the game on Saturday.
Thank you, Jacques. And we move over to Stephen. Good afternoon, Stephen Petty.
Yeah, afternoon everyone. Yeah, it was a good start. It was short and sweet. Yeah, qualified for the top 14. Yeah, the boys did well in Pearl. Yeah, but I'm back in South Africa and really looking forward to keep on building towards next week. But we have a big challenge tomorrow. Playing against the Bulls. It's going to be a little bit of a personal battle, but we know playing in South Africa against other teams against each other, it's always physical and there's going to be an intensity. So, yeah, we've been preparing as best as we can, and yeah, hopefully the boys can just relax and enjoy themselves tomorrow, knowing what to do.
Thank you, Elton. And we say good afternoon to Heinz Schenk.
Hi guys, thanks for the opportunity. Jock, I know probably in Thomas's case, he probably had to shift to loosehead because of the prop situation. But just on that, you must be quite chuffed, with the versatility that those selections actually show. I mean, that you have a Sharks tight end actually who can play very competently loosehead as well. And just how excited also are you to see the lock combination? Another instance of versatility, particularly in Jean-Luc du Preez's case.
Yes, no, listen, definitely Thomas. Well, he went with us to the World Cup. In terms, or he joined us in the World Cup, and that's what makes Thomas such a valuable asset, if I can say that, is the fact that he's a great swinger that can play loosehead and tight head for us. And obviously, yeah, like Thomas said, wherever we feel we need him, he desperately wants to play for the Boks. And if it's loosehead, tight head, doesn't matter. So that's the nice thing on him. And yeah, then the lock combination, obviously it's funny enough, those two guys played together, I think in 2014, Jean-Luc and Nicolas Janssen van Rensburg and the 20 team that played against England in the final of the Junior World Cup, where Jean-Luc was playing 6 then. And now they're locked partnership, and yeah, the versatility there. Nicolas, even from Montpellier, sometimes go down at blindside flank. So yeah, there's a nice versatility in that combination, and very much looking forward to how they operate as a unit tomorrow.
Thank you, Jock, and we welcome Motsadisi of SuperSport.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, I'm just slow to the unmute button. Afternoon, Jacques and Alton. Jacques, how are you feeling? How is your health? And is there an update on Siya Kolisi? Also, I know that between all the franchise games and all the prep games that were going to be played and the test time, there was going to be a whittling down of the squad. Is that still going to happen, or are you guys going to stay together as the 46 plus?
Okay, first question, how's my health? No, what's very healthy as can be. No, running around, and it was nice being on the field again. Now, being 10 days in a room is quite lonely sometimes, and looking at your laptop screen, and the only assessment you have of trainings is via footage. So it was lovely to be on the pitch again and to scream and shout and encourage again. So that was nice. How Siya and the other boys who's still in quarantine on that side or in isolation? No, they're doing well. I must say, I must compliment the medics in terms of how they're handling them. There's a nice program running there in terms of how they try and keep them not getting too much cabin fever within their rooms. And like I said, yeah, there's a return to play protocol that has to be followed, which is almost like a return to play protocol when you get concussion, So there's certain markers on day 1, day 2, day 3. So they are following that. So he's in the process of returning to the rugby field. And like I said, it's 10 days of isolation, and then your return to play starts. So there's there is what you have to do on day 1 and what you have to do on day 2, day 3. So it's quite prescriptive. And he's busy following that, and all the other guys, still in isolation. So they're good, and thankfully, they're not in hospital, and they are doing well from a health point of view. And on the squad, yes, we will have to probably, after this game, we'll probably play the game this weekend or tomorrow, and then we will have a sit down with the coaches and the selectors and say, listen, where are we in terms of injuries, in terms of our return to play from the guys coming back from COVID, and then we will have to make an assessment on that. I mean, I think when we played the British and Irish Lions on Wednesday, we were supposed to be 43 players in the squad, and I think there was only 32 available, 32. Or maybe less, 31 or maybe 33. I can't remember the exact numbers, but yes, there was 10 guys in isolation. So that will have an influence in terms of, are we going to reduce the squad or not? If we have everybody available, I still believe we will stick to our plan in going down to a smaller squad. But obviously that will be determined by the injuries that we get tomorrow, and also where the players are in terms of their return protocols from COVID.
Thank you, Coach. Riaan, if I may, and I'm glad that you are all safe and sound and upbeat and healthy. I also wanted to ask Alton, especially around the time when the whole squad had to quarantine and staying in your rooms, how did you personally remain positive and also, stay sharp and make sure that your mental health is also all right?
Yeah, that's a good question. Obviously, you look at your why, and then sacrifice is a big thing within our group. It's one of our main pillars in the team, and obviously taking ownership of the situation you're currently in as an individual and as a team as well. We were just working on things that can work for us as a group. I mean, we were obeying the rules from the medical point of view, and I really think the boys did well. And I think the 2 years in quarantine at your home, I think that prepared you well for this. But yeah, the boys are doing well, and we're keeping in touch, and we're doing everything as safe as possible to be able to play a test.
Thank you, Mots, and thank you, Alton. And we move on to you, Godwin. Good afternoon.
Hi there. Question for Jacques. Good to see you again. Just to refer back to the comments about high tackles made by Warren Gatland and Razzie earlier today. Can you say, have you met the referees today? Warren said he was going to be doing that, and if you did, or if you intend to, are you going to be raising concerns about the Lions, and what the schedule is for those meetings with the referees before the first test?
No, we will probably have a meeting with the referee this afternoon, but that is purely, this afternoon's agenda will be, listen, did he pick up anything in our game that is a worry for me or concern, because we must think practical, what can we fix from today till tomorrow to give a proper spectacle to the viewer out there. At the end of the day, we're still in the entertainment business, if I can call it like that. So we, between ourselves, the Bulls, and the referee, we are all equally involved in producing a product on the field that is safe, that has a lot of because that's why we enjoy rugby. There's lots of contests, that the contests are fair, and that's basically what the referee has to do. So from our point of view is, listen, where do you see red flags, if I can call it like that, in our game, where we contest in rugby, and if there is concerns from our side where we feel they might be unfair contest, we will raise that with the referee, and to just he's not an unfair contest, just how will he interpret that contest, and that specific area of the game might be scrums, might be mauling, it might be breakdown, it might be ball carries, might be tackles, might be aerial contests, how would he interpret that if we have an issue or a question, not never an issue, a question? And yeah, just to get an understanding. Obviously, you want to be as prepared as possible as a team, but also on the other hand, we also have an obligation to the broader rugby public out there, the fan, to get a proper contest there on Saturday.
And you'll do that again before the first test, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, no, we definitely, we will normally do that. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's a test match, or SAA game, if it's a warm-up game, if it's training sessions where we have referees, where we do game simulation. We will continuously drive that process. Listen, what do you like to see today, even in training sessions? At halftime, or when there's sometimes a break in training, listen, what are you seeing? What can we improve? And then we try and better that in the next 15, 20 minutes that we have a training session. We will continue doing that. We will, and I think it's always, it works on both sides like that. When I was with Munster, we did it. When I was with Western Province, we did it. I think it will happen at the Lions as well.
Thank you, Jacques. Thank you. We go over now to Owen. Good afternoon, Owen.
Are there any players in your squad that you will consider selecting for the first test who haven't played in either tomorrow's game or Wednesday's game?
Yes, definitely. I mean, when we select players, it will be when we select a player that haven't played up to now, it must be somebody that we know physically he's proved to us that he can do it. So let's say it's a player that hasn't played now, and we must have the comfort in the player that, listen, this scenario has happened before, and we have put the player in a game without him being exposed to a lot of game plan or to our systems, and he's produced before. That will be one of the reasons why we will do that. And also, if it's a player that's been in our system for a long time, so that understands what we're trying to achieve, it will be tough for a player who hasn't been part of us for a while, who hasn't played for us ever. It will be tough for him because just purely it takes some time getting used to the way we do things. So yes, it will be, but it won't be the norm. It will be outliers, if I can put it like that. The players know we're quite open and honest and transparent on our selection process, and physical readiness is one of the top things. And physical ready means you've got to be medically fit, you've got to be conditioning wise fit. We must have the opportunity to have coached you. So that's probably one of the three big things that we will look at. And like I say, sometimes a player can tick a box that is medically fit. Physically, we're happy with his conditioning, and then have we coached this player a lot? Sometimes it might be a player that would have been in our squads and systems since 2018. So we have worked with that player extensively in the past. So that box sometimes gets ticked purely because he's been involved with us for 26 test matches or games and stuff like that. Yeah.
And will all your players be through the return to play by the time of the first test, or some will still be stuck in it?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll probably lie if I give you an answer. Like I say, there's lots of criteria, and for me as a coach, there's when you onset of symptoms and then this and that, but like I say, we've got two medical professionals that run that for us, and they're in constant communication with a medical advisory group that guides us through that process. So they're on top of it. So every morning I just get we as a coaching group just get a feedback from them. Listen, this guy's still on track. This guy's still on track. And they will literally tell us, listen, he can start joining team trainings now. So why? Because yes, if I have to worry about let's say 11, 12 guys coming back, and will that guy we just want to know, listen, when can he join us for training? And we work with the players that we have available, and not break our heads with the guys and the process as they return. That's up to the doctors. They must get them ready. And the moment that guys are ready to join our group, we will take him on and then we'll work with him. And then obviously he falls into that bracket. Yes, is he medically fit? Obviously, otherwise he wouldn't have been cleared to train with us. Are we happy with his conditioning levels currently? And that is mass. That might be, yes, this player has been exposed to over 1,800 minutes from August last year, or this player has only been exposed to 400 minutes due to whatever reason. So there's then a lot of things that we will draw our conclusion on and use for team selection. Yeah.
Thank you, Jacques. We probably have time for 2 more questions. And Fatima, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Hi, Jacques and Alton. Jacques, firstly, congratulations on the team's win this week against the British and Irish Lions. The question that I had for you was just to avoid the players, becoming undone when there's quite high pressure in the game, obviously, and the team has played Wednesday. The team will be playing on Saturday as well. In terms of that mental preparation, do you think that they'll be able to cope on Saturday well, just by not having much breaks in between the games?
Yes, we spoke about it in our just presentation. Obviously, every game we started. What is the purpose of this game? And the big purpose is for a lot of these players to have the opportunity to stake their claim for a possible start in the test match against the British and Irish Lions. So that is their purpose, and that will be the desperation that drive this group. The other group that played on Wednesday had a different, a different goal. But obviously this group, and that's the nice thing of like Elton had mentioned, we're going to play against the Bulls. They're the top franchise, was the top franchise in South Africa, which is going to be a phenomenal test. They've got unbelievable coaching structure and system running there. I've been fortunate enough, and they are transparent and open enough to allow us to visit the franchises in the build-up to this test series. So I know there won't be a stone unturned. And they will be well prepared, and they will give us a proper hit out. And we spoke about it as players. We know it's going to be unbelievably physical. I think it's also a unique game. You don't necessarily always play SA team as a franchise. That doesn't happen often. So this is an unbelievable, can you say, game. Actually, I can't remember that it's happened a lot in my time involved in rugby in South Africa. So it's going to be unique once of opportunity, and that just adds to, I think, the bigness or the hugeness of this game. And I think our players understand that. And we spoke about this morning, irrespective if you play a test match in a World Cup final or you play for the SA team, if you put that jersey over your head, you represent something, and you represent a lot more than yourself. And hopefully we will see that coming through tomorrow. So a long-winded answer do I think they will be mentally ready for tomorrow? Yes, I think they will be.
Thank you, Jacques. And we conclude then with our final question, which will be asked by Carl Fabian.
Jacques, thank you so much. Were there any requests from you from the Bulls to test you in certain areas where you feel you still have some shortcomings today against the British?
Sorry, Carl, I can't hear.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
A little bit, but you can shoot.
Were there any requests from your side to the Bulls to test you in specific areas where you feel you still need some practice before you face the British and Irish Lions?
What I heard is you asked, was there any request from us to the Bulls in terms of, is there any specific areas that we would like them to test us before we go into the British and Irish Lions? And the answer is no. This is a game. This is going to be a game like any other game. Jake is unbelievable tactician, sharp coach with a very good coaching staff, and they would like to beat us, and it's going to be that personal. So no, we didn't say, listen, can you guys please test us in this department? They will obviously done their analysis, and they would know where our weaknesses are and where they will perceive our weaknesses. They know our players quite well, and they will definitely go for the jugular there. So that's going to be the nice. I know it's an SAA game, but it's still a test for us. It is a test, and that's why international rugby, and for us, we see this as an international game, is a test match. You get tested on your weaknesses, and that's why it's going to be such a nice game to play against. Not nice in the sense of it's going to be a lacquer game. It's going to be a proper test, because they would have done their work, and they will come for us, and they will lead us where we're weak, and we must be ready and prepared for that.
Thank you, Jacques, and thank you to our online media audience. Thank you for your patience and your participation as well. And our next media engagement will then be the post-match press conference after tomorrow's clash at the Cape Town Stadium between South Africa A and the Vodacom Bulls.